No sprinting, no leaving your friends behind. Time to leave your ego at the shed door. Stage 4 of ZRL is the team time trial. We do have an interesting course for this TTT. It's the Greater London 8, which features Box Hill. It's 24.2 kilometres long with 280 metres of elevation, most of it coming on Box Hill. Zwift have recently fixed the elevation on this profile, thanks to Eric Slangy for letting me know that. So you might see some older videos with a different elevation on it, but 280 is definitely correct. But don't worry, I've got 5 top tips to help you and your team triumph in this week. This recon is sponsored by levelvelo.cc, suppliers of quality cycling clothing. I've been wearing mine for racing recently. I feel like a pro, and look the business. It is honestly by far the best cycling clothing I have ever worn, and I would say that whether they're sponsoring us or not, honestly, it is that country mile better than anything else I've ever had. They do custom kits, so you get your own team kit made if you wanted, feel all fancy in that. And they're specialists in indoor clothing. Get yourself over to levelvelo.cc and get yourself some great kit. I've made some lovely course notes which are available to download from the levelvelo.cc website, and there's also an archive of all previous ZRL stages on there too. Go and check it out, link in the description. My first tip is to have a plan. It doesn't matter what that plan is. If it's simple 30-second turns or something more complex, I suggest going to zwiftgopher.com/TTT and filling in the details there of all your riders, and it will come up with a plan for you. You can adjust it, amend it, ignore it, whatever, but it's a good basis for getting a plan together for your TTT. Looking at the footage of Tom Corrigan and his team Eat Dirt as they make their way past the start banner in the London Pens, and this brings us to our second tip, which is to get in line. They're doing a reasonable job here of having someone on the front and someone behind, which is the main thing about being in a TTT. The first feature of the course that they handle pretty well here is Northumberland Avenue. It's a short punch of about 400 yards, and then there's lots of boring stuff, and it really not much to speak about. Get in a line, get rotating, push to the front as you're doing the changeovers, and drop off significantly. Now the next main feature I've called Piccadilly Rise. Piccadilly was named after piccadilles, which were like a neck thing that medieval men and women, I think, wore, but that shouldn't really affect your race. So what we've got here is a little descent, so you can ease on this little descent here, have someone pushing at the front, but having everyone else resting behind. And the next tip is to think about the whole race is decided by the time that the fourth rider goes across the line. Now, as you come down the escalator, everyone has got to stay completely silent and go wee all the way down the escalator. That is a rule of DWTRL, little known rule, but I think it is quite strictly enforced. So yeah, think about the pace that the fourth rider can handle, and think about minimizing the amount of energy that they expend before they get to the hill. So you might want to put your stronger riders on for pulls, longer pulls, or you might even want to sacrifice your fifth and sixth rider to get to the bottom of the hill so that your fourth rider is the most rested, maybe your third as well. Depends on the mix up of your team, but think about, how can you get your fourth rider probably to the top of this hill as rested as possible. And forget about fifth and sixth, use them as you will, which is my next tip, which is use your resources. So use them up, spit them out. Don't be one of these teams of, let's all finish together, won't that be nice? No, this is a race to the death. Use all of your resources. Box Hill is tough. You can do very little about saving energy at Box Hill, so think about it in advance. you're going to get barely any draft up Box Hill, depending how fast you're going, I suppose. You come to this sort of plateau at the top, get up some speed before you hit the bonus bump a little further along. You might want, the weaker riders take breaks at the back. You don't really want to be organising yourselves at the top of this point. Just someone get to the front, get up some speed before you hit this extra bump, and then keep the speed going. You need to keep the speed down. Most strong rider, get you some speed up as you're going down the hill. Take turns, heavier riders, whoever's got the energy, just get to the front, do little turns. Everyone else rest. Then when you get to the bottom, get some speed. It is worth putting down some speed. And then you go up the escalator, up the apples and pears, as they would say. If it wasn't an escalator, it was just a standard set of stairs. Then whoever's got any energy left, take turns. It's just a short run into the finale. Empty the tank if you can. There's these little bumps. Try and make sure you keep your fourth rider with you. Drop anyone else, obviously, that you've had along if you need to be. Plenty of draft to be had here as the speeds increase, but keep that fourth rider with you. Take it all the way to the line, and you'll do great. I honestly believe you're going to do really well in this race. All of you, all of you are going to do really, really well. Thank you for watching this recon. Next week, we've got, I think it's Glyph Heights, which is an absolute beast of a race. So tune in, hit the little bell button to get notification to say that the next recon's available, and I'll see you anon.